Thank you. Hey, Brock, hope you're doing well today. Just your thoughts on the different look lines at practice and the potential of skating alongside Elias and Tanner.
Yeah, I thought they were good, just to shake things up a bit. And obviously, I feel that I have pretty good chemistry with Petey. But also I feel that, the chemistry with Pierce has come a long ways. And I think we're playing well in the scrimmages. So hopefully we can continue to build and get better each day.
When you look back at the two evening scrimmages and the simulated game days, just based on the fact that you guys are only going to have one exhibition game before you get into the series, how much do those help and how much are you guys trying to treat those like normal game days?
Yeah, I think it's really important, just with the lack of exhibition games. Knowing that we have one, I think it's huge that we continue to get these scrimmages in against each other. And, tomorrow treating it kind of like a earlier game, an afternoon game with no morning skate. So I think it's really important. And I really like what we're doing each day right now.
What have you thought of the compete level in the scrimmages?
Yeah, I think you could kind of tell that we were a little winded in the first one, but those commercial breaks in the second one I think helped a lot. And I thought the pace was a lot better in the second scrimmage. And, I think everyone's starting to feel more comfortable and kind of shake off the rust. So that's been good, and I can only imagine that the scrimmages get better and better.
Thank you.
Next up, Jeff Patterson.
Hey, Brock, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Hey, based on your upbringing, is it fair to say that you would follow the Minnesota Wild closer than other teams around the National Hockey League?
Yeah, I'd probably say I know a little bit more about them than, obviously teams in our division, know them really well, but outside of that, I'd probably say I know Minnesota better than most teams.
And what's your sense, like when you think of this group of Minnesota Wild that you're going to be facing, in particular as a forward? What are the challenges?
Yeah, well, first off, I know that, their defense is one of their strengths. And, you look at their top 4D and, they're all really good defensive players. So we know that we're going to have to break them down in that aspect. And, I think Minnesota had kind of a slow start to the season, but they kind of were gaining traction before the break. So, I know their guys are going to have confidence, and we need to have that same confidence. And I think we need to be prepared for each game and know what they're going to bring. And with saying that, I think we got to make sure that we play our game and kind of dictate the pace of play against them.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Jim Morris.
Hey, Brock, thanks for taking the time. Do you think it's going to be different when you get into the bubble and the way it is now, though, but not having media coming into the dressing room on a regular basis, asking questions, wandering around? Will that be like a sort of like a nice break in some ways, or do you think it'll help the team concentrate on what you have to do? You have to do this sort of thing sometimes, but it won't be like an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a little different. Just kind of getting in that bubble and not allowing to leave the bubble. But, just not seeing you guys after games will for sure be a little different. I think we'll probably get out of the rink a little faster now. But, I think we just got to just focus on our game. I know that sometimes there's distractions out in the world, and maybe this bubble will help kind of throw those aside and be able to focus better. So, it's going to be interesting, but I think it's going to be whatever team adjusts better and, brings that compete level each night.
You've probably been at this, I'm sure, before, but the idea of playing without fans, how different is that going to be? I'm sure you've played some college games or minor league games without many people in the stadium, but what would it be like playing an NHL playoff game without fans?
Yeah, I think we've all tried to envision it, but I don't think I can really explain just yet. It's going to be not much different than our scrimmages. I think you guys are going to be able to hear, everything that's said in the rink. And, it's going to be interesting. I've kind of described it as a men's league, a professional men's league, a little tournament. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it.
You have to be careful what you say on the ice because people can't hear you now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should always watch what you say anyway, even if there's fans in the crowd. So personally, I think that's kind of on the player.
Okay, thank you very much, Brock.
Yep.
Next up, Ben Kuzma.
Hello, Brock.
Hey, Kuz.
You know you'll miss us in the room. You told me in the summer that you will be ready for this because you weren't rehabbing an injury. Right from the get-go here at camp, Brock, your stride, your release, everything seems to be there. Where are you with your game, and how happy are you that we're kind of seeing some of that form of a while ago?
Yeah, it's it's awesome. I feel really good, and I told you guys when we talked in the summer that I was coming back on a mission, and I really put in the work when I was home and was working hard, and I'm noticing a difference right now, and I feel better. I feel confident out there, so hopefully I can continue that and bring it against the Wild, and the shot's feeling good. I tried a new curve out today, so we'll see how that goes.
The game is in the postseason is played a lot on the inside and the dirty area and getting shots away from that. Can you concentrate on that in scrimmages or at all in practice, knowing that you can't be a player at this level, especially in the postseason?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You're kind of cutting out.
No, just how tough it is, Brock, to play the game on the inside in the postseason, and that's where you have to kind of make your gravy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing. I haven't played playoff hockey, but the guys talk about how important that is, and how physical, how much more physical the playoffs are. So, I think that's going to be everything. Is taking care of our own defensive zone, kind of that home plate area, and then in the offensive zone, getting pucks and bodies there. I know we harp on that a lot throughout the whole season, but it's going to be really important in the postseason.
When you've played with Petey, you've talked about the chemistry that you guys have developed. Why did it click so quickly when you guys were together?
I think he's more of a playmaker. He sees ice really well, and I read off guys like that really well. I just feel that I think we're kind of thinking of the same things. I try and when he has the puck on his stick, try and think of what he's thinking in that moment. Just try to get open. So. I think it's always kind of been something that I've had success with guys that play that way. So I think just from college too, I played with Nick Schmaltz. He's kind of the same way as Petey, but
right.
It just kind of clicked right from the start.
Why did you guys form such a quick and lasting friendship? What is it about you guys? Why did you mesh so well off the ice?
Yeah, I think part of the reason he's another younger guy, and I think we kind of we have some older guys, but we all get along. But Petey, we were road roommates right away. I think that kind of kick-started everything, and then after that, I think we had like a 2-week road trip, our first road trip. So it kind of took off from there, and became pretty good friends after that road trip, and had to help him with some English stuff and with you guys. So it's definitely come along.
How much could that help, Brock? I mean, it's one of those intangibles we don't often talk about. But when guys really, you keep talking about the room, when you really get along, that can go a long way. And maybe the fact that you don't have the playoff pedigree, it can help you in some ways.
Yeah, I think it's just trusting in one another and being honest with each other. Guys can talk to each other about things they need to do differently or whatnot, and we hold each other accountable. So I think that's a really big thing, and our room has done a great job of that. So I think that's gonna be really important in the playoffs.
One last thing from me: any side bets back there at Prior Lake with your buddies about the series?
No side bets, no, not yet. Maybe I'll shoot him a text and see if anyone wants any.
Thanks, Brock.
Thanks.
Next up, Farhan Lalji.
Hi, Brock. Just to follow what you were talking earlier about, but as far as your off season is concerned, I mean, watching you through this first week and a half, you look noticeably stronger. Was there anything different in your training this off season that allowed you to add strength, or was it more a case of just not rehabbing and being able to train the way maybe you want to train?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple of weeks of where I trained in the summers before I came back, and I don't know, it's a little different. Just being home, a lot of Peloton. I rode a lot of a lot of Peloton, a lot of rollerblade rides, just other workouts at home. I don't know if it was the Peloton or what it was, but, I feel quicker out there and I feel stronger. And, like I said, it's the best I've felt in a long time, and hopefully I can continue to keep it going.
I want to ask you about Markey. I know you had a few chances against him in the scrimmage on Sunday. Where do you see his game now, maybe compared to the start of the camp? And is it the same Markey you were used to seeing during the regular season?
Yeah, for sure. Even in the other scrimmage, I don't think you can really put it on him. We're still trying to figure out our details and get back to our system. So, I think he's only going to get better as we continue to play. And, I think you all know that Markey's a gamer, and, he's a difference maker in a lot of games. So he's going to be huge for us, and I know he'll be ready.
How much do you guys as a group feed off his emotion? Because even a simple goal or a simple scrimmage, and you can tell he's visibly upset. Is that something you guys just feed off or rally around at all?
Yeah, you see it, even in games, if he makes a big save, it gets the boys up, and it gives us confidence, especially when, if we have a breakdown and we know we have Markey back there to make the save. I think it's huge for us. So I think, with that being said, I think we just got to continue to help him out in the D zone and be good for him.
Thanks.
Perfect. Ian McIntyre?
Hey, Brock. How often do you try a new curve? It sounds like kind of a big thing.
I never try. I never like to change my stuff, especially if I've had success. So I'm only really toyed with my flex once, never my curve really. So, I just tried it out today, 85 flex with a little bigger curve, and it felt pretty good. So I'm going to give it a couple more days and see if it leads anywhere. But, it's definitely a little different when you have a bigger curve, can definitely shoot a little harder and take better one-timers.
So have you had the same curve from the time you arrived in the NHL to now?
I've had the same curve since Pee-wee's. So there you go.
Is this a custom curve, or is it one of the branded players?
I'm pretty sure it's Austin Matthews' curve righty. I think it's P90. So gave it a look today and liked it so far. So we'll see if it leads anywhere.
Do you feel your shot is, you're constantly asked about it, but do you feel like your shot is as good as it's been? Do you think you have as much velocity now as you've ever had? Yeah.
I think I told some of you over the phone in the summer that I was working on it a lot, and definitely was working on it. It feels good. I feel, I'm not thinking too much, and I'm getting it off quicker and kind of more deceptive. So, it's been good, and hopefully I can score a couple goals in these scrimmages before playoffs start.
Lastly, with the line changes, this camp is unlike all the ones that you've been to that lasted about 3 days, and then you were into exhibition games. Do you think it just kind of keeps people fresh when you show up at the rink if the lines have been moved around a bit and you're playing with new guys?
Yeah. I also think it gives our team different looks, especially with the lines today. Definitely makes our team, I feel that, we're a pretty deep team and any line can score. So it was definitely a fresh start today. And, we'll see if they keep him for tomorrow or not. But I think no matter what line you're on, you got to come to the rink every day prepared and be ready to get better and continue to get ready to play against the Wild.
Thanks, Brock.
Yep.
Final question from Pete Jensen of NHL.com.
Hey, Brock, you mentioned that Pettersson obviously is a playmaker, and I know you play well with Horvat as well, but I'm just being a finisher and talking so much about your shot, and obviously so many people have seen your finishing ability throughout all the years, especially with the Canucks, all these different flashes. Like, how much did you learn this regular season with all the ups and downs, and how much are you looking at this playoffs as an opportunity to be like the finisher for the Canucks, because the playoff goal scorers get like all the show, all the all the attention?
Yeah, I think you said it best. This year wasn't a great year, and it was I had trouble finding the back of the net, and I really took some time, especially when I was injured, to kind of look back and see what was wrong. And when I came back and got one game in, I was really trying to think about just playing off instincts. And, I've gotten so far playing with my hockey instincts and, not overthinking things. So I think you said it best too. I was sitting at home just thinking about, the opportunity I can to redeem myself and, be better for our team in the playoffs. And I think it's a great opportunity. So, I'm ready and I've been ready. So I wish we could start games tomorrow, but we can. And I'll just continue to try and work hard each day and get better.